What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a long-awaited episode. Quad Shop Podcast is back in business, baby. As always, it's good to be here. Rowan, how we feeling? How we doing? What's going on?
Hey, we're back in business, man. I'm just so excited for today's episode. I'm so excited to be back with my guy, back on Quad Shop, giving the fans what they want. A little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Okay, so let's get into it. Restructure the podcast. So now instead of alternating buzz of the days, we're going to be doing one buzz of the day each per week. So Ronan will have one and I will have one every single week now. So it'll give us a little bit more content to talk about, and also how he was doing that week and I was doing this week. Another restructure is the bi-weekly podcast. So we're no longer doing it weekly. Not that we were anyways, but we'll be doing it bi-weekly to the best of our ability, and let's see how things go. Yep. And another segment that we're going to be adding in is called the pour-over segment. We're excited to add this in because what this will allow, for viewers to do is ask us questions, and we could create that connection and, bridge that gap between us and the viewers. So what the pour over section is basically if we get a question from a viewer, then Ronan and I will take the time to, repeat the question and then answer it individually. So since we have no one asking questions currently, no viewers, what we'll be doing is bringing one question per week per person. So Ronan will have a question for me and I will have a question for him, and we will answer it until we have enough questions from viewers in order to supplement the pour over segment sufficiently. So. Yep.
And this is, I have more of a multi-layered question for you today, but I'm excited to bring it to the table.
It's a simmer pot kind of
simmer pot combo. But yeah, guys, I'm ecstatic to be back. Took a little hiatus. You know how it is out there, everyone our audience that we talk to on a daily basis. And if you listen to all of our episodes, life is ever changing. There's different flow states you get in, and things can get in the way, right? Life's complicated. So we're good. Aiden and I are good. Back better than ever. Excited about the journey ahead. And we're going to do the bi-weekly pods. We're going to do a pour over. We're going to do a buzz of the day, and we're going to start getting more interaction, and hopefully we've had 2 in-person events so far back in Massachusetts, but we're hoping to do more events. So we're going to kick this off, stay consistent. And
So where we kind of left off was I was about to move to California, or at least getting ready to. So I did go out back in December, toured a bunch of apartments, went to a couple of different barbershops, just basically got a lay of the land, a bunch of different areas that I had never been to, areas that I liked when I had gone previously, and came to the conclusion basically that I love my home too much to move away from Cape Cod. My family's here. I created a good business for myself here, and I'd have to kind of uproot and start from scratch there. And that would kind of entail me, being there for a long period of time once that business has been built, and forfeiting all the business that I've built here. So it didn't really seem feasible with, the plans of buying a house and, one day starting a family. So it was more of a moral/financial decision that came into play really hard. And I was in a really hard place in my life at my current job, Ramsey's Barbershop. I was very unhappy there for many, many reasons, and I found myself wanting to kind of run away and escape. But now that I've taken my clients and moved to another barbershop, I feel a lot more comfortable and happy with my life here on Cape Cod. And I didn't realize the impact that barbershop alone was having on my entire life. So shout out Ramsey's Barbershop. Thank you guys for everything you guys did for me. Had a good time there. I was there for 2 years, but bow out peacefully, and we're on to the next one. So the guys at my new barbershop are awesome, dude. They're just real fucking people. I fuck with them heavy, and I'm so happy there. So that's where I'll be starting my business, you know, or continuing my business. And no California for me. It feels great. It feels like
it's hard for you. Go ahead.
It feels like a really, really good decision. You know, I just like got a very strong gut feeling when I was out there, like this is not for you, which was so interesting because prior to me going out to California, I was telling everyone for, you know, damn near a year that I was moving, making arrangements, making financial decisions. And it was really hard to therefore go back on my word. But I have to do what's best for me always. And, you know, always trust your gut. We preach that all the time. And that's what I did here. And I believe it's just going to lead me onto my path of destiny that is meant for me. It is hard though. You know, fucking weather, waves, Rome baby out there, fucking pecking around. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Really do love it out there, but
yeah. Hey, you'll be out to visit though. I can guarantee you that.
100%.
You know,
100%.
Strike missions when the waves are good. I mean, out here, the waves. I'm not sure if any of our listeners are in Southern California, but we've had a run of waves here. Probably 4 to 5 foot every single day. This week it's going to be 5 to 7, 3 to 4. Speaking of that, dude, paddled out with Hayden the other day.
Yakola?
2 days ago.
Did he move down?
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah. So we got him down here, so it's good, man. It's good. But anyways, had a great session. 5 to 7 out the back. Okay, at PV Point, I was in the inside like I usually do, but I was picking them off like no one's business.
Jesus. You gotta get on the outside.
Seriously.
Come on.
No, but I was on the outside on the inside, if you know what I mean.
I hope you're improving your surf game, Christ.
I am, dude. I was doing some slower cutbacks.
Ooh.
Into lip rides, into power down the line.
Any snakes?
Who?
You.
I don't snake people, man. Come on.
So when I was out in San Diego, we were surfing, what was that? Crystal Pier. And I had just gotten out of the water. I was standing on the beach watching Roan catch a couple last waves, just like watching him. And all of a sudden he fucking starts paddling for this wave. It's shaping up nice, but he didn't look left. And there's someone paddling a little bit harder. He's on the peak, stands up, drops in. And then Roan baby's still fucking getting it. And he stands up, drops in. That damn board came inches from this person's face, man. Good fucking God. Snaking.
Dude,
so,
he was getting every single wave. I'm like, can I just get a fucking wave?
Roan baby. You gotta love a good snake, you know. So we've developed a new nickname, Lime Ricky.
What is it?
You know, it just came out.
Lime Ricky Roan.
So dude, that's sick about Hayden though, dude. I'm glad he's down there, and I'm glad you got like a little like surf buddy. Because when we all surfed on Cape, we were having a blast, dude. With Hummer,
dude,
and
me, you, Hummer.
Yeah,
dude. Remember that one strikes mission where Mark the Surfer came out like late, but it was like Nauset Light or Coast. It was Nauset Light Beach, but it was like 3 to 4 foot perfect peeling offshore like mini barrels.
Just
Remember
me, you, Hummer.
Yeah, but it was sick. Like I don't know how if that was out in California, there'd be 100 guys out there.
Right. Yeah.
Like I was looking at from this previous swell. I was looking at like Black's Beach and which was really good, and then I was looking at Windansea, and then what was the other spot? Like Swami's. But I mean, you watch these cams, you watch these reruns or YouTube clips, and it's like there's 100 guys out. You sit out there. So many good surfers too. All the best breaks. You sit out there, even if you're a good surfer, you can get waves. Like you sit out there for 2 hours, you're probably catching two waves.
Dude, I lose count here. You know, the wave quality obviously isn't the same, and the swell consistency is not the same as well. You know that. But you can get waves to yourself.
Yeah.
All to yourself. Even in the summer, you can get waves to yourself. So that's that
more
charm,
so
dude.
I mean,
that's that charm here. It's nice. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, like I'll be out if we do events out there, you'll be back. If we do events here, vice versa, you know? And,
Yep. When do you think, sorry, go ahead.
well, I'm just saying, like, I got that trip to Costa Rica coming up. It's next week, actually. So,
Oh, fuck.
I'll be there for
Good for
2
you.
weeks. Yep.
Yep. And then what's your schedule next few months?
That's it. That's all I have planned. Just
Okay. So audience, ladies and gents, we might have to get Ado out here again, man. You never know. A good run of swell.
yeah. Hey, that could be a little strike.
do
Keep an
some
eye
routes.
on the swell and then blast out for a little long weekend or something.
Yeah.
That'd be sick.
Yeah.
I'd have to sleep
Yeah.
on
All
Roan
right.
at the foot of Roan Lime Ricky's bed, though.
Lime Ricky has spots. That's a spot
need-
for you.
If I come out and we go to Swami's, I need 3 snakes out of you. 3.
All right. And then you'll protect me in the parking lot when everyone wants to get at me.
All right, so let's get back on track here. So we got the pod restructure, as we mentioned earlier, and we're going to stay virtual because obviously I'm not moving out there. So things change, plans change, and this
I
is
think that's the motto of
epitome
story.
of it, you know?
Story of life, man.
Story
Things
of
change.
life.
You never know.
Yep.
It's funny. I was talking to a close friend about this. I was like, man, like Aiden, man, I was really banking on him moving out here and doing our thing. And I was like, you know, I was disappointed. I was a little sad. Still kind of bummed out, but it is what it is, you know. You're my guy. I trust you. Always be my guy. So, but they were saying, it was funny. They said something pretty cool. They're like, maybe that was just his journey. And maybe, you know, he did follow his gut and that's his, he needed to do that and he needed to go through that and get all gung-ho about California, tell his old barbershop he's moving to California, and then like redirect, get out of a bad situation to get into a new situation where he felt comfortable and you didn't feel like you needed to flee or leave the Cape where you have a beautiful life. So I think that was a unique perspective that I think is very true. So I'm happy you found that at home.
Thank you, bro. And that's exactly what happened. You know, me leaving Ramsey, starting at a new barbershop, and that even when I started at the new barbershop, this is for the viewers, I know you know this, but even when I started at the new barbershop, it got so bad at Ramsey's to a point where I had to like leave and find somewhere to cut hair for 2 months. I still planned on going to California. And when I found Rob and Anthony, I was like, hey guys, I need a place to cut hair for 2 months. I know that's ridiculous, but I got clients. I'll be, you know, as least abrasive as I possibly could be. You know, I just want to come in, cut my hair, do my thing, then move to California. And then he's like, cool. And then as we got to know each other, he's like, dude, I really hope you stay. You know, he's like, I don't fill this chair and, you know, you're here and it's dope. So my point was, you're exactly right. Or whoever your close friend was is exactly right. It helped me realize that I was running, you know? I was running from a place that I really love so much. And it's a great opportunity. It's a great home base. The foundation here is amazing, right? And I genuinely love adventure. My sense of adventure has always been with me since, you know, a little kid. And that was a big part of me going out to California. Go, expand, you know, meet new people, do new things, look at all these new areas. And I realized if I do move to California, like because of how much money I'd have to spend in order just to live out there, I wouldn't be able to travel as much as I do now, right? I go on like 4 vacations a year, you know?
Yep. 4, yeah.
So it's like, that's really important to me. And I didn't want to lose that, even if it was, you know, just to be in a place like San Diego, as cool as it is.
Yeah.
So I asked myself, you know, if I stay on Cape Cod, how can I make this work? And it's really just comes down to don't ever lose that sense of adventure. Don't ever let yourself stop growing and, you know, striving to be better, because it's so easy to get complacent and comfortable where you are. And I've been here for a long time. So I made a promise to myself that I'm not going to, you know, I'm still going to continue on that journey and hit those goals that I was kind of in this weird purgatory. I was like, oh, once I get to California, like I'm going to do this and this and this. I'm like, why don't I just fucking do it now? What's the difference, you know? So implementing these structures into my life at home to kind of spice things up and make it a little bit more new and kind of restructure things. It's nice.
Feels good.
Yeah, it feels good. So
Dude, I know. There are parts of me I do miss the Cape, man. It's so nice there, dude. I love like when I came home for Christmas. Remember we had that day where you cut my hair at your barbershop, snowy, like just beautiful, quiet Cape Cod day. I was like, man, I miss this. You know?
yeah, dude.
So
Yeah. The other day I was thinking about the summer before you moved to Cali.
Dude, that was sick.
That was so fun, man. That was so
You had a
fun.
great summer.
You know, like
Yeah.
it's just it's the place to be in the summer. It really is. And
Yeah. Dude, hopefully, well, I'm coming home this summer, so we're gonna hopefully have to run it back.
definitely.
Yeah.
We'll hit the usual suspects. We'll see Marky and his Ford with beer cans rattling in the bed. We'll go to Mac Shack. You know, hit all the bases. Come on.
Get some, yeah, dude. I could see myself moving back to the East Coast.
Right. Yeah, I mean, dude, love to have you back. You know, and yeah, dude, that was probably the hardest part about not moving out there. Was like, I was so excited to be like, you know, just in the same AO as you, like 15-minute drive, runs right around the corner. Just get dialed back. You know what I mean? It's so fucked up, but.
Well, dude, we have so many like the surf is just, the surf is just, it's here all the time, you know, and it's good breaks, the good reef breaks, like. And I was just, dude, I was thinking about this when I was in the water. I was like, you know how you paddle out to Wind and Sea and got a few like little runners? Dude, Wind and Sea was absolutely going off the other day, like 4 or 5 foot, like. And I was like, dude, Aiden would kill to be out here. Your surfing would improve so much out here.
I know. And that's why, like, say I go on 4 vacations a year, 2 of those have to be surf vacations. Like, I got to go get dialed in on some waves. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and get consistently.
Right. So that's Costa Rica. 2 weeks of just straight fucking sick ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Some heaters.
Yeah.
On a sick one.
Yeah.
All right, cool, dude. So I think we're aligned. We're dialed, dude. Do you want to get in the buzz of the day?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. You got yours. I got mine. Why don't you start?
Okay. Let me pull it up real quick. So I was thinking about this. You know, the world is in a very negative place right now. I was talking to another very close friend about this. And it's just every time you turn on Twitter or the news or Instagram, it's all this vile shit or talking about politicians or all this stuff. And it's just really sad. It's this disgusting behavior. And it kind of puts you in a bad mood, you know? So I think it's important to be present in life and be surrounded by good people. And it's actually on my calendar. I have a calendar from Pema Kodron. And it's funny, I flipped to February and there's a quote every month. So I'll read this quote and it really resonated with me just because it is so true. As you become more and more familiar with birth and death in every moment, you will discover other benefits. You will have the insight that there are continual and endless opportunities to have a fresh start. In each new moment, one lifetime ends and another begins. This means you always have another chance. You can never be stuck. So this really resonated because I think a lot of time in life, it's so easy to get, you know, and I'm a culprit of it, get caught up in this decision. Oh man, that was so bad. Like, and it's just like blowing things out of proportion when, you know, simple mistakes happen, you know, and I think it's important to move on and you know, a new lifetime begins every moment you choose, you know, and you can redirect yourself and you do have that space and you don't have to get stuck in negative loopholes or past experiences or anything like that. So, or even like, you know, you read something on the news and you get kind of depressed or sad about this world and it's negative and you don't have to stay in that space. You know, you can choose what you put your attention to. So I thought that was pretty powerful, and I really like the way that quote resonated with me. So that's my buzz today by Pema Chodron, I think. But yeah.
I like that a lot, man. That's a really good one. And it's actually super prevalent for me as well. It's funny you say that. What's the balance between being in the present moment with the people you love and taking care of the people you love, taking care of yourself physically and mentally, but also yet staying informed and staying up to date with all of the world antics that go on around you, whether that be politics or whatever, because it's good to be informed. It's good to know things. It's good to have a, understanding of how the country or world or state functions around you. You know what I mean? So yeah, I really like that. And I was actually having a conversation with one of my buddies that just moved to Texas. I was cutting his hair the day before he left, Connor Bagg.
Oh, no way.
Yeah. And he was talking a lot about current events that I'll choose to leave out, but a lot of them are super prevalent and pressing and actually important to be knowledgeable about. But they're so negative. They're so negative. So when you become consumed with all this information, it's an overload, and you can go as deep as you want. And it's just information, boom, 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 left and right and fucking up and down. It's like a washing machine, and you can really become consumed with that. And I think it's not good for your mental health. So my counter argument with all this, I guess it wasn't really a counter argument. It was more of yeah, dude, that is crazy and unfair and whatever. But I kind of stay over here from that type of stuff. I might not be as well informed as you, but I prefer to, because I know myself, I prefer to kind of stay out of that, because I'd become consumed, at least for a short period of time, with that information, and it would take away from my mental health and my physical health, the time that I need for myself in order to take care of myself and the people around me too. And it has a ripple effect. If you bring this energy into a room of boom, 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 and you spark a conversation, boom, 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 I don't know. It's got a pretty big effect. So I love that. I think that's super prevalent with a lot of the stuff that's going on right now. And it's funny. It's funny you bring it up, because, I had a similar conversation with someone the other day. So I think you're on the money, and I think a lot of people probably needed to hear that too. So right on.
All right. Fuck yeah, dude. That's what do you got?
My buzz of the day is something that probably damn near everyone has heard, and I'd love to be the person to fucking reiterate it for him. So Admiral William H. McRaven gave a speech at the University of Texas in 2014, and it was basically 10 things to make the world a better place, right? Through his experiences, his training, his long career. He was a Navy SEAL, right? But number one out of 10 to make the world a better place is make your bed.
Really?
Yep.
Why is that?
Make your bed. And he talks about the ripple effect. And it really comes down to self-care. If you wake up in the morning and you do a small, mundane task like make your bed, it's going to have a ripple effect on the rest of your day, right? He talked about his experience when the officers, or excuse me for butchering the language, when somebody comes in and inspects your bed, right? The fucking perfect folds in the corners, right? And the pillow and everything's tight and fucking perfect, right? And they come to inspect it. So it needed to be perfect. And that was always the first thing that you got into a routine of doing. And he talked about the ripple effect that it had. It wasn't just because he had to do it, or it was then, but now he sees the meaning behind it. If you make your bed every morning, it's a ripple effect. That's small task after small task after small task, right? You do that one thing, and it's going to ripple into the rest of your day, and you're going to have a more productive day. It's like checking the boxes. You know what I mean? And he explains it really well. So for anyone who hasn't, they've heard that saying, yes, probably. But have you watched the speech? I'll say it again. Admiral William McRaven, 2014 speech. Just search that on Google. Or just search Make Your Bed speech. And you can listen to it. It's probably 20 minutes or something like that. But it's really good. And he gives you 10... It's all about making the world a better place. And what he means by that is, like, say you affect 10 people and you make an impact on 10 people's lives, right? And he did this crazy math, and it's a ripple effect. Those 10 people now affect another 10 people, and generation after generation of making the world a better place. And over a certain amount of time, it would eventually just be the whole population. And
That'd be nice. That'd be very nice.
It's 10 people per person, the way he described it. And it's so interesting because it's just all about making the world a better place, and it's keeping yourself in check, right?
Yeah.
So it's really good. It gives you 10 things, and you could probably incorporate all those 10 things into your everyday life, you know? And he says it could be a man, it could be a woman, you could be this old. It doesn't matter who you are. These are all actionable things that you could use to improve your life and make the world a better place. So make your damn bed. Good fucking God.
I after this pod, I think I'm going to go do that.
You got to make that bed, T, right? Come on.
I know. Hey, it was good. It's good. Appreciate that. Appreciate you bringing that to the table. Awesome, man. I do like the double buzz of the day. We both get, bring some content that's powerful to the table here for our viewers, and for ourselves. So I love it. Both really hit the nail on the head for today and moving forward. It's this podcast. I realize in the hiatus and realize doing this now in real time, this really does help me. Give me a sense of purpose and put me in a positive mood for the rest of the day. So. I really appreciate it. I love this, and yeah, man, it's really good. It's really good. Anyways, do you want to move on to pour over?
Yeah, we could do the pour over for sure. Let's do it.
Yeah, I got a great one. Yeah, I think I'm going to answer it. We're both going to answer this question. This is also from a trusted, close friend, which I'm very happy she. I was like, hey, doing the podcast. I know you've listened to a lot of our podcasts. Do you have anything, any questions you want Ada and I to answer? And so she came up with, I said it like a more of a multi-layered question, but you ready for it?
Yeah.
All right. How would you compare your early 20s to your late 20s? And then what would you tell your early 20-year-old self?
Oh, that's crazy. All right, but we're not going back in time. All right, it's just a little piece of advice that we could. What is one piece of advice that you could choose over all the advice?
Yep.
Wow. One thing. You only get one thing you can tell your 20. First of all, in my 20s, I was a fucking idiot, man. I was
rinse bucket,
dude. I was doing it was perfect because it made me who I am today, but wow. I would never do anything I did back then now. I'll tell you that. Maybe take a couple of things, but just super unhealthy habits. So when in my early 20s, I had no structure. I had no routine. My word was okay, right? You could rely on my word sometimes, but not all the time. Selfish, immature, caught up with addiction and instant gratification, and yeah, it was just an interesting time in my life. But I can look back now and see all that. So that's who I was in my early 20s. And who I am now is someone who sees myself for who I was. And that's key, because it's about taking accountability and understanding that it's okay to be a fuck up. But how are you going to get the fuck back up? Right? So now in my late 20s, I take responsibility for my actions. I try to always uphold my word. I live by a structure routine that keeps me on track, keeps me physically and mentally healthy. A lot of things I've put into place that are now muscle memory, like nutrition and diet, exercise, stuff like that. It just keep me good. I have, a better understanding of what's important in life, family, gratitude, stuff like that. And the distractions and the addictions have been dealt with. They've been faced, and they have been curbed to never return. But the only role those addictions play now in my life is, oh, I remember that. I learned a lot from that shit. So the one piece of advice I would give myself in my 20s. Now, it's interesting. What is this piece of advice going to do? Is it going to help me fast track to the point that I've become now? Because I wouldn't change a damn thing about my life. I fucked up a lot. I fucked over people. I fucked over myself. But it's all good shit. I am who I am today because of it. So I want to make that clear. I wouldn't change anything. And the timeline, the actions, nothing. I wouldn't change anything. But the advice that I'd give myself now in my early 20s would probably be just trust in the process. So that's the advice I'd give myself in my early 20s. What about you?
Yeah, let me look at the question again. How would you compare your early 20s to your late 20s? I would compare it, and here's what I've been thinking about actually a lot recently. My early 20s, you know what? I luckily I didn't struggle with addiction. I've always been pretty good in that way. Not better or worse. It's just something that I never fell into, which I'm very happy about. But I definitely got caught up in instant gratification and dopamine hits, and always kind of having FOMO and chasing girls and being like, in that. I was immature, in that realm of things. I was, I didn't really see or understand the meaning of life when everything around you is like focused on either getting, in college, right? Like people in their spare time are either trying to hook up with people or taking drugs or smoking weed. You know what I mean? Like luckily I played sports, so it was more kind of tailored and dialed in. So yeah, it's funny. It's my early 20s. For 2 of those years I was in college, and after college, I was trying to find my way, my identity. Didn't know what career I wanted to get into. Was in baseball for a little bit. Realized I couldn't really pay my bills the way I wanted to, or do the stuff I wanted to do. And then I got into sales and started to build a career, and here I am now, 26. Moved around a little bit, stayed on Cape, lived up in Maine a few times, moved back to Cape, and then obviously moved up to California about a year and a half ago. Which is crazy to say that. It's freaking nuts. It was that long ago. But I think I was just trying to find my way. I was an adult. I've been an adult since I was 18, but I was really not an adult. I didn't know what it meant to be an adult. And I think now, part of being an adult is protecting your own peace, keeping your circle small, and doing the right thing. I think I didn't really have that sort of direction. I didn't really have that sense of who, I was just looking for, dopamine hits and fun. And I didn't, sometimes taking into consideration the people I was hanging out with and how that could really negatively impact your existence. So now I think the biggest lesson the biggest difference is now I'm so selective on who I let into my circle. Even though being in California, when I first moved out here, even then, I think I started to gain that sense of like, okay, I need to protect myself. I need to protect my peace, build a good life for myself, and be around good people. And luckily, I have a good circle out here. And there'll be people who try to reach out or stuff like that. It's just like I don't know. There's like certain people like I don't want to spend time with, and that's okay. And I think you've got to be selective on who you surround yourself with. That's the name of the game. Like I talk to you. There's only about I can count on my one hand I can literally count on my one hand like who I hang out with and who are my friends out here, which is a great thing. Mm-hmm. I would say maybe a few more than that, but so yeah, it's a good feeling knowing that you have a good circle. There's no drama. There's no bullshit. There's just good people looking out for you that want the best for you. And I think that's the biggest thing. That's my biggest takeaway. And if I was going to give myself any advice, I'd say just surround yourself with good people. You don't have to please everyone. You don't have to be everyone's friend. So that's my biggest takeaway.
Yeah, dude, I love that. And like, if I were to look back and see who I was surrounding myself with in my early 20s and the actions that I was, doing and the person that I was, it's not the same anymore, right? So it's okay to also grow faster than people, right? You might have to leave people you're like best friends behind. And you don't have to stop caring about them or loving them or whatever. But if you're growing at a faster rate, then you can no longer associate yourselves with them or hang out with them because of what they do, how they choose to spend your time. It's really important because you could just get sucked right into it all again.
Yep.
And it's really easy. And it's like nicotine. That was a big addiction for me, right? I did it for a long time, but I'm like 3 years out now. And it's so interesting because it only takes that one time to get fucking roped back into it, because I tried to quit countless times, right?
Yeah, I remember that one time we were walking in the Sparrow and you were hitting your e-vape.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God, there you go.
Yeah, dude.
And that was what triggered you that was like your taper.
Right. What a joke though. That shit's disgusting. What even is it?
Yeah.
And it's like you're just sucking to do. But my point is like, it only takes that one little rope back in to get full blown, and who you surround yourself, it's really important. So yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I like this new section, man. It's, I
love this section, dude.
It's nice. And to speak about a pour over, Stu, you with me, Stewie?
I'm with you.
I just ordered last night from Fellow. You know the company Fellow?
What is Fellow?
Fellow, look into it. They make like really high quality like coffee and tea, everything you could think of.
Okay.
It's a great website. You'll probably find something you like on there. But I ordered so I already have an electric kettle, temperature controlled. You've seen that, right? With the gooseneck for pour control. But I got a pour over set. So the filters, the little cup, and then the glass canister at the bottom. So you perform the pour over and it goes into here, and then you pour it in the mug, right? I got that. I got beans. I got a jar that like seals to keep the beans fresh. Yeah. I got a grinder and I got a scale. So I'm about to start getting into the pour overs, dude. I'm actually hyped.
Dude. I'm excited.
I'm hyped.
You better take some videos for me and send them my way, dog.
Oh, you'll get some Stu clips for sure.
Good.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my pour over. I thought it was a good session.
I love that pour over too.
What do you got
for pour over?
Yeah.
All right. So my pour over I like how you already got a third party question. I love it.
I know, dude. It's possible. Come on.
It is. Yeah. So mine's
Hammer and a nail.
Mine's a self-curated question because I didn't receive any from a third party. So
okay.
My question for you today, Ronan, for the pour over segment is, what's one way you slow down? Right? Because it's so easy to fucking move fast and go fast and continue to just fucking barrel through life and like check the boxes and be proficient and like just be a unit. You know, you're like fucking feeling like the man, but you're moving at the speed of light. How do you take a second and slow down? Like your go-to slow down method?
It's a good question. Really good question. Ooh. How do I slow down? Are you talking about just everyday life?
Do you want me to answer first?
Yeah.
All right. So the way that I slow down when I'm caught up in my Lightning McQueen shit is like, go-to method you could do anywhere is take a deep breath. Right? And it's so overlooked. It is so beyond overlooked, the breath, right? You can do it anywhere. Just take a deep breath and you just feel where you're standing. You're back in the present moment. That's a great way to slow down. And that's my go-to because I could do it anywhere. Now, when it comes to things that I do to keep myself in check, to keep me in that kind of that balance, surfing is a massive one for me because it's a moving meditation. It helps me like stay in the present moment and really just like I'm only doing that. And then after a surf session, like, okay, you know, I'm like just chilled. And then like for the next week, like, you know, so that's ways I keep myself in check. Meditating, if you could incorporate 10 minutes a day, meditation, I think is a great way to help yourself slow down. And then I think if you meditate more, you're going to catch yourself in the act of moving fast and remember to take that deep breath. I don't think there's anything wrong with being proficient and energized and dialed in and getting shit done. But I think it's really important to remember that it's good to be in the present moment. And it's good to slow down and it's good to take a deep breath. So yeah, my go-to anywhere is take a deep breath.
I love it. And I appreciate you going first. I was thinking about that when you said that. And I think for me, even taking a deep breath sometimes can be like, I'm so go, you know, and I think you know this about me, but I would say at the end of the day, I have a good routine. Shower. Take a nice hot shower, clean. Get out. I'm done with work. Shut down everything, all the lights. Light a candle. And then turn on the TV. Turn on like a comfort movie or just like a movie I want to watch. Get into bed. No phone. And just like force myself. No phone. Put it on the charger. Put it away. And then I just kind of lie there and like, you know, I'm usually tired at the end of the day, so start to close my eyes, relax, and eventually turn the TV off and blow the candle out and hit the hay. Like that's my decompress time.
Yeah, it's the brain off, slow down.
Yeah.
I like that.
Which is I look forward to it.
Yep. And that could look different. That doesn't mean you have to do exactly what Ronan does at the end of every night, but I think what's there is find the wind down nightly routine that works best for you, right? Like me, it's not a candle. It's a essential oil diffuser. And you can fuck with the blend and you do a little whatever. And it's dope, you know? And, you know, after I have my dinner, I'll have my little dessert, which is like yogurt berries with a little like whey drip protein on top. And I kind of just, you know, like I'll do the same thing. I'll throw something on the TV and just eat that and wind down with the diffuser. It's nice. Lights are low and like you're just chilling, man. You're not all worked up, you know? So, yeah, I think that's great, man. And that's something you could do most days, right? But then we have travel days. Then we have, you know, days where we're away from home. Sometimes you're not going to be able to do those things that, you know, you rely on. So that's when the structure can feel out of whack. And that's when you want to be equipped with your tool belt with skills that you can do to try and keep yourself within that same type of feeling. Like when you went to Portugal for work, you know what I mean? Like shit's different. Everything's new. But now how are you going to help yourself slow down and, you know, still try and incorporate a similar act that will put you in the same state of mind, you know?
I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah, but I hear you. I mean, I thought today was a fantastic episode. A lot of good content. I feel good about the flow of the podcast and perfect timing too with the pour over and the buzz of the day. Carries us right through.
Yeah.
How do you feel? How do you feel
really
today
like,
went? How's it?
What I like about this restructure is that it's all based off of how you're feeling and how I'm feeling, and like curiosity, and it's just energy, and it's genuine and authentic, and I really like it. It's like the whole duration of the pod is like, it's raw, you know?
We're tuned in, yeah. And I think I got away from that for a little bit with the book reviews because my attention span's not great. And we did read The Mountain Is You, and that was a very beneficial book for me. Talking about like self-sabotage, because I've struggled with that in the past a lot. But, you know, I think when we got onto that second book, I think it was really hard to like just tie it all in and like be committed. And I think when we had multiple conversations about the restructure, we went into the Word document, we're typing some stuff up, thanks to you and me. And we came up with this. We're like, this is really what we like talking about, current events. We like talking about how we feel. We like talking about, you know, mental health and a path forward, because there's always hope, you know. And I think both you and I have had very dark, hard moments in our life. And if we can, you know, power through that, anyone can. So I think it's good stuff. I'm looking forward to in 2 weeks our next episode.
Yeah, I'll be in Costa Rica.
And whenever you get back, I'm looking forward to our next episode.
I know, me too.
So
yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll figure out how we want to do that. But yeah, dude, I really like this. I'm glad we're back. It feels good. I miss talking with you, you know, and doing this.
Yeah.
I really do love it. So much love, brother. Thank you guys for tuning into this episode. And yeah, we'll be back better than ever. Peace out.